Psycho Soldier from SNK hit the arcades in 1986. In a way, this is a spiritual sequel to the Athena game, released a year earlier. Psycho Soldier continues the adventures of Athena and is noteworthy for being the first video game with a vocal in-game soundtrack. While having much in common with several action side-scrollers of the day, Psycho Soldier is unique due to the sheer number of power-ups and special items that can be obtained during gameplay. In the game, players can utilize a special force known as Psycho Energy. The player can perform a number of attacks, including creating a shield of rotating spheres around the character's body to protect them. Psycho Energy is limited though, so be careful not to waste it. Two characters are available to control in Psycho Soldier. They are Athena and Kenso. They both share the same abilities, and whichever one the player chooses has no real bearing on the difficulty of the game. The only real difference comes when the player comes across a special item resembling a green egg, which, if the player's energy bar happens to be full, will transform them into a powerful psycho creature. In Athena's case, a phoenix, and for Kenso, a green dragon. Yet they share the same abilities. Oh, and for anyone wondering, yes, the Western version of the game does feature an English version of the song, as well as English voice acting.
Burning bright, you better hide if you are bad. How can you? Read your mind and find it. You believe in right or wrong. Fire, fire, like the soldier. Fire, fire, like the soldier.
Psycho Soldier was released in the UK and part of Europe by Ocean on their Imagine label. The first of the ports is for the ZX Spectrum and was programmed by Ross Harris. This version lacks any music at all. In fact, as far as sound goes, it's as basic as you could possibly get. The game looks okay. Ross has gone for a pure monochromatic look to avoid color clash, which I think is a sensible choice. I'm also impressed by how much there is on screen without any noticeable slowdown. Sadly, the game is rather boring due to the more basic level design and lack of quality audio. It also has a rather large hitbox around your character, which also hinders gameplay. Overall, this is a pretty average port that does not follow the arcade levels or stage order all that much. Holy crap, this is one of the worst games I've played on the Amstrad CPC. This mess was programmed entirely by Steve F. Dombavand. Credit given for trying to make the game by himself and that it is in colour, but what is the point when it's totally unplayable? The game is laggy beyond comprehension. Most of the time it is so bad that your character's attacks don't even work. At least it has a few points over the ZX Spectrum version. It has music and it follows the arcade version closer in terms of level design. last port of Psycho Soldier came to the Commodore 64, and straight away we can see where the CPC version ripped its graphics from. Thankfully, this is vastly superior to the CPC port. The Commodore version has smooth scrolling, stages that resemble the arcade version, responsive controls, and in-game music. It even plays reasonably well, apart from the collision section, which can have shots going straight through an enemy or them hitting you while not actually touching you. And let's take a look at all those versions of Psycho Soldier running side by side.